オープンチャンネルコード4、失踪中のパティらしき女を乗せたスポーツカーが郊外に向かって逃走中。
Hey guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. Now, it's been a while since I've done a Saturn video, and the reason for that is, well, all of us in this space have been really busy trying to keep up with the progress with the Nintendo 64 core. Well, I did a community post around a month ago where I asked you guys what Saturn games would you like to see tested, and a few of you guys came on and requested a few games. So if you can see everyone there on the left hand side of the screen, any game that was requested, I tried. If you don't see a game in this video, it means I tried it and it just didn't work. But this one here is Police Notes. I really liked the introduction. I did play it a little while and I got into like the beginning part of the game. We'll have a look at that part later, but I wanted to run this for the intro. So guys, before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to the channel, then hey, a subscription and a like is super appreciated. Anyway, let's go and test ourselves some Saturn games. Okay, so guys, let's begin. This is DragonForce. Now this title always comes up, so I guess there's something special about this, but this was requested by JD Chainsaw. So JD Chainsaw Bud, this is for you. Now I can't really show you anything exciting here. I guess this is something that you play more and you kind of enjoy, but it is a strategy game. I kind of got past the talking parts in the beginning, but honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. And this isn't something I intend to play. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you played on the Saturn, and you know, what is the buzz surrounding this game? I mean, I like stuff like Advance Wars and everything. I really don't know much about this game, but hey, it was requested and here you go. I wanted to deliver as much as I could. Okay, so next up, a couple of games requested from Car Detailing Studio Austria. They requested Sega Rally and Daytona Champion Edition. I think that's what it's called, Champion Edition or something like that. The one with the word champion in there. I also want to say Thor, or Thor, Thor C. Always have issues saying that. Make it sound like an F, but that's how we speak in bad London accents. But Thor C asked for Radiant Silvergun. Now I actually tried booting that a few times. I couldn't get that to work. I know it kind of I got into game on that before. The graphics were all like, you know, messed up a little bit, but I wasn't able to start it. I tried it. I messed about with a few settings. I tried it like 3 or 4 times. I couldn't get it booting because I kind of wanted to see that game as well. You know, I'm a fan of shmups and Radiant Silvergun is a fine shmup, but Sega Rally, it works fine. And if you're playing the Saturn Core now, guys, like, play this game. It's just so much fun. I mean, look at it. You've got a helicopter flying around there in front of you. And this is what makes these racing games good. And I think this is the only rally game I like. But here we go. Let's move on to Car Detailing Studio Austria's next request. And that is Daytona Champion Edition. And guys, this is a banger of a game. And now, when I start this game, I just completely forget what the accelerating button is, which doesn't work well with the rolling start because I'm hitting the brakes and I go onto the green. But I do try and kind of get back into the race. Now, one thing about the latest Sega Saturn Core, it's the sound. Like, if the sound starts for the vast majority of games, I think there's 1 game in here or maybe 2 games out of everything that I tested where the sound kind of remained. It's really weird. It's like you get the soundtrack, you get the sound effects, and then you'll kind of lose one or the other. Most often you'll lose the soundtrack, but the sound effects will kind of remain. It's just a mixed bag, but this core's coming along nicely. A lot of the games feel great to play. Like this latest update, it's having more issues with sound, even to the point where I will say that some games that sounded decent before are actually sounding worse. But you know, progress is being made on this. Like, this core's just coming along nicely. It's amazing to see where it's come, and given where SRG is in this situation, it's amazing to see updates as frequently as we do see them. Now, this update was actually released at the end of August. It was either like the 28th or the 29th, but right at the end of the month. So hopefully we'll get another one soon, which is always nice because hey, we find it's almost like SRG 320 checking in when a new core is released, and hopefully we'll get one soon. And obviously if we do, I'll make sure I do another video. I'll try and put like another request thing out. Initially I'll do a video having a look at what new games are working, and then afterwards I'll try and do one where your requests are there, and we'll run your request. But hey man, Daytona, you know, with the exception of the sound, it just feels great to play. And our next request is from Mario Sergio Garcia Maciel. Hopefully I got those four names correct, or sounding as they should be sounding. And they wanted to see Panzer Dragoon Saga. And guys, this game works. Now remember, if you're loading this screen and loading this game and you get like a black screen, just be patient with it. Like, wait a little while, because like what's happened is, while I'm filming this, I'm getting a black screen and I'm like, okay, let me load the next game. And while I'm kind of prepping up to get the next game ready, all of a sudden the game boots up. And yeah, this is quite an awesome game. Like I can see myself playing this. Like, of recent years, I've not been too much into turn-based games, but I think this is one that I could actually play. It feels a lot of fun when you're flying around, and then later on in the game, when you do get into battles, it feels good. And even the controls, when you're kind of off the dragon and exploring around a little bit. The Saturn, one thing I find with a Saturn, the controls are quite intuitive. The two shoulder buttons are really good. When you're playing like a game where you're kind of walking around and moving, the shoulder buttons that either rotate you around or they make you strafe, the controls I find work really well. You know, before analog sticks were a thing, I think the Saturn had like an analog controller for knights or something. It's not something I've ever held or tried. I'm always playing this with one of the 8-bit or M30 controllers. They work really well with the core, especially the new white USB type C one. Really love it. But this is a good game. If this is something you wanted to play, Mario Sergio Garcia Maciel, then definitely give it a shot and let me know how you get on, because the core does support saving now, and maybe you can get a certain way through this game and continue. But yeah, definitely check it out. It plays and it looks well. Okay guys, next up, a couple of requests from a good friend of mine, Adventure Taco, and one of them's Final Fight Revenge. And I absolutely love this. If you played Final Fight, well, you've got a wacky beat 'em up. It's pure jank, but in the most funnest way. And this beat 'em up plays well. I kind of like it, and I had to go with Damned because, hey, who doesn't like that first boss out of Final Fight? Do you know what, guys, you kind of forget how long some of the loading times are. I did actually cut out some of that loading because it does last a long time. And I do hope once the core is more mature, or like once it's kind of out of alpha into beta, or even like once it's, you know, a full release, I certainly hope that we get an option for faster loading speeds like we've got in the Neo Geo CD core and the PlayStation CD core as well. Now, I was playing Damned, and I love the fact that he's got a move like my boy Jimmy. Jimmy is Blanca. Blanca's real name is Jimmy. That's what his mama calls him. And guys, just look at this. Like, if you like Final Fight and you like kind of beat 'em ups, you will enjoy this game. I would love to play this against like another human. Let me know in the comments below. I haven't checked, but if it's actually out for anything else, because I would love to play something like this on Fightcade against another human. It would just be so much fun. But I would only want to play someone like me that doesn't know much about this game. If you're a veteran in this game, then I don't want to get destroyed by you. One thing about fighting games, it's always fun playing people that are roughly on the same skill level as you. Now, I did try some special moves in here, and guys, the supers in this are fantastic. Like, I have to say, check this one out. Look, you just see a flash. It's like he does his whistle, and all other characters from Final Fight come out and attack. But you know what? This is well worth playing. Again, there's kind of issues with the sound. The sound just completely just went when I played it, but I am having fun testing this core. And look, when Guy goes into custom combo mode, he kind of disappears a bit, but there we go. Dam's doing his other special, and this one's for you, Adventure Taco. Okay, so Adventure Taco's second choice was Road Rash, and I was kind of excited. I saw this and I was like, yes, we're gonna have some action, and that's where the action froze, and that's as far as Road Rash went for me. Okay, the next three games are games that are requested by Rodri Byte, and the first game he requested was Sonic Heart. Now, when I played this and I picked another character, I kind of worked out the controls and I knew you had to move forward and run. But when I picked, I think that's Amy, isn't it? Amy, the female kind of hedgehog character, whatever it is from like the Sonic games, because she's in like a car. All of a sudden, I'm thinking I'm playing like a Mario Kart or some kind of kart racer. So initially in the beginning, I was actually holding the button down to accelerate, and then I figured out, no, I need to like kind of move it up to run and move it around. And this is a somewhat interesting game. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe if I played this on the Saturn back in the day, I'd enjoy it a bit more. But you know, going into this now, okay, cool, it's Sonic, you're moving around. I don't know, it's not something that I would play now. I do appreciate, you know, a lot of this stuff is nostalgia. So if you had a Saturn and you played this, you know, you're gonna play this and maybe you're gonna have memories of a better time. You're gonna remember stuff. I remember nothing. I just remember testing it. Yeah, it's okay, it's Sonic, it's 3D. Yeah, you know, you're running around like some kind of race course and you're racing against each other. Even I'm doing really badly, there's later on I do actually catch up. I think I actually finished 4th on this race. I ended up overtaking Tails and I kept like nearly beating or nearly overtaking Dr. Eggman. But anyway, Rodri Bite, this is for you, bud. And Rodri Bite's second choice, and I'm glad it's this, it's Virtua Cop 2. Guys, it's amazing. Once I was approached by a random lady on the street and she said, hey Pixel, you want to have a good time? And I said, I had a good feeling about it and I thought, hey, why not? She took me back to her place and she pulled out a Sega Saturn and we played Virtua Cop 2. In case my wife is watching, that story is completely made up for the sake of entertainment while doing a voiceover for this video. But all seriousness, Virtua Cop is just so much fun. There's just one thing that I wish it had. I wish if it had like a way of moving your crosshair around the screen a little bit faster, you know, something like a shift key, like if you held down one of the shoulder buttons and moved it, it would move around quicker, because sometimes when you've got two enemies at the other end of the screen, it's a bit difficult going between and shooting the two quickly. You end up getting shot. But this is such a fun game. Like, I really do like it, and I feel this is a game that's just aged really well. And this, to this day, I would still say this is one of the best light gun games out there. There's plenty of good light gun games. Time Crisis were among my favorite as well, but this on the Sega Saturn, it is just a gem. Rodri Bite's final game request was for Bug, and I have to say, guys, like, when I first kind of saw this game, I didn't think this is something I would like, but surprisingly, for a game where you just kind of walk around the level or like some kind of maze and kind of turn around and jump on other bugs, it is surprisingly a lot of fun. Like, this game's just, it's a very chill game. Now, I know a lot of people speak highly of this, and to be honest, I never saw why people really like this game until I played it. I don't know what it is about this game. I just ended up liking it. I don't know if this is something I want to play all the way through and go for it, but definitely at the time, if I had the Sega Saturn, this would be one of the games I would have liked on it. I don't know what it is. It's just, it's a chill game. Like, there's a chill game I played recently. It's nothing like that, but that's Slime Rancher. But I remember Slime Rancher, when I played it, I didn't think it was like one of those games I would like, but when I played it, it was just such a relaxing game, and this has the same kind of effect on me. Like, it's a chill game. It's where you don't want to think too much, you just want to play, and it's just a pleasant game, and it plays really well. The sound kind of seems to be better on this than most other games as well, and it just plays really well on the Sega Saturn Core. So if you're a fan of Bug, well, you know, you can play this now and you can have a lot of fun on the current core. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything off with the graphics, but the graphics, at least to me, for someone that doesn't know this game and is just looking at it, look solid. In fact, they look really nice. Okay, and this is a request from Brian Yu. Please note the translation. And in a previous video, I tried the shooting range, which was actually quite a bit of fun, and that works, and that's like an actionish part of the game. But this time I wanted to get into the game because this is a game made by Hideo Kojima, sorry, I think that's how you say it. And you know what, guys, it's very entertaining. Definitely a slow burner, but the translation is working. It didn't crash on me. Like, I played it for around maybe 15 minutes to try and get past the introduction and just kind of get into the game. And I got near the beginning part where he's in his office, you're listening to like your answer phone messages. The language obviously is still Japanese, but all the text is in English, and it's amazing, you know, the translation fans are doing, because there are games out there that you could never ever play, and you can play them now. And I think this is out for PlayStation as well. So, you know, if you don't want to play this on the Sega Saturn Core right now, maybe it's something you can play on the PlayStation. Now, I don't know if there's any differences, if one version is better than the other, is the Saturn version superior. If you do know more about it, let me know in the comments. But I know Hideo Kojima made good games. He made some very good games, and I imagine this will be decent, because this comes up a lot in comments. People always talk about this game being on a Saturn and a decent game, and I kind of do like some of these kind of detective or visual novels, or I don't know what you want to call them, but I definitely like visual novel games like the Phoenix Wright games. In fact, one I need to start, and I don't know if I should go back to the Vita and play it or play them on the Switch, but it's the Danganronpa series. They just sound really, really interesting. I did try and play the first one once, but I was really tired, and that's the wrong time to play these games. You need to be fresh when you're playing them. I was tired, I was in bed with the Vita, and I played it, and I just kind of conked out. But guys, Police Notes is working. If you want to try it out and that's something you want to go through, play it. And if you do manage to play it and complete it, then let me know in the comments. If you do play it and it crashes, either way, just let me know. In case there's other viewers out there that want to play it, then at least it can kind of help them out, and they can decide for themselves if they want to play it and take the risk, you know, because this is an alpha course. Sometimes you can play something, and I'd hate for you guys to be 10 hours into something and then it just crashes and locks you out, and you've got to start the whole thing again in another core update or something. Okay, and this request is from Ian Letts. He wanted to see Virtua Fighter playing. Now, this game has come a long way. Now, I remember initially testing this out on the core, and it was slow. This kind of feels, I don't know if it's full speed or almost full speed. Let me know in the comments below for those of you that know VF better. I know VF, it's definitely a slower moving game than some other fighters out there, but honestly, like, to me, this felt fun. It felt good, and the colors and everything look so good. Like, I can see a couple of lines that may be a little bit off there, but as far as like the game looks, I remember it looking like this in the arcade. I remember, I think it was a school trip, we went out to like a seaside, and this was like the big game there. It was on a big screen, and it was new at the time. You weren't getting 3D stuff. This was like the birth of 3D games, and it just looks so advanced in the arcade at the moment. But the good thing is you can play this on the Sega Saturn Core. Sound, again, like with most things, is a little bit in and out, but honestly, Virtua Fighter works. It works well. Try it out. If this is your game, definitely try it. And guys, this is the final request, and this was requested by me for me, because hey, I like Chase HQ, but I love Special Criminal Investigation. It was one of the games that I played a lot in the arcade. It was just such a fun game. Like, if you remember the arcade machine, it had the steering wheel, it had like 2 red buttons on the steering wheel that let you fire your gun, and honestly, the game is just nothing short of fantastic. But that's really it for this video, guys. These were all your requests, and hopefully when the core gets updated, the next time I'll do another video. If it doesn't for a while, then I'll probably do another community post saying hit me up with your requests, and we can do a request video. But honestly, try some stuff out, try games out for yourself. It's a lot of fun testing these cores, and they're coming fast, and they're coming nicely. But that's really it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, a subscription and a like is super appreciated. I'll see you guys around. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.